Hi, I'm Arundhati De-Sheth. I'm a personal fine jewelry shopper, and today we're going to be in conversation with three women who've disrupted the way we buy fine jewelry, and we're going to talk about how to build one's jewelry box from scratch. Let me introduce you to Ananya Malhotra. Her brand, Ananya Fine Jewels, has been seen on celebrities like Amanda Seyfried and Dua Lipa, and her pieces are found in retailers like Net-a-Porter. Ananya's jewelry is making waves globally. She celebrates and rediscovers the profoundly personal meanings behind jewelry by crafting jewelry that is rooted in Indian spirituality with a rather contemporary and global twist. Then we'll talk to Tara Daswani of Tara's Fine Jewelry, who injects playfulness and color to the traditionally classic idea of fine jewelry. Seen on India's It Girls, Tara's jewelry is designed to be stacked and styled with your everyday wear. It's a plus that they're conversation starting and they bring a smile to your face every time you look at them. And last on our panel today is Megan Kothari of Aaryah, part of a cohort of new age fine jewelers who are reframing how we approach everyday fine jewelry. By using unconventional diamond cuts and shapes that go beyond the ordinary, Aaryah creates timeless fine jewelry pieces that grow with the wearer and communicate an empowering message that lasts a lifetime. I'm looking forward to chatting with these extraordinary women and on how to build one's jewelry box from scratch. What is the best time to invest in diamonds and the must-have pieces we all must have in our jewelry wardrobe? Welcome, ladies.
Thanks.
Hi. Hi,
Thank you so
everyone,
much
for
for
the
the
introduction.
Hi. So let's begin by asking Tara. Tara, you're based in Bombay, and your pieces bring an element of fun and experimentation into diamond jewelry. Can you tell us a little bit about what diamond pieces your customers are buying right now? Do you notice any particular styles or trends currently?
I think people are really looking for stuff that they can wear all the time now. They want stuff that sort of goes with their style, that goes with their lifestyle, whether, they're out meeting friends or whether it could be like the cool pajama outfit with like a satwat, or it could be enamel colors, anything, but it just feels that they want that little bit of a luxe feel with natural diamonds. They want it, but they still want it to be contemporary and cool, and wearable for everybody, basically.
Right.
I would say the things that people are buying right now, a lot of stacked necklaces, dangling necklaces. I think my baguette dangling necklaces do the best.
Okay.
Signet rings with the diamond letters on them, personalized stuff. Those are kind of the need of the moment, I think.
Lovely. And that brings me to Ananya. Your diamond chakra bracelet has become a must-have piece for every woman, every age and stage around the world. So can you tell us what you think it is? What is it that they attracted to about this special design? And is it an easy to style piece? How did it evolve into becoming such an integral piece of every woman's jewelry box?
So it's a really interesting story about the chakra bracelet. I had to initially design one for myself with a healing aspect, and I wanted to tie it into a piece of jewelry, so I designed it with natural diamonds and a lot of inlays of gemstones, and it sort of translated into me designing it for friends. And the bracelets have a healing aspect to it, which we work with the gemstone glossary to kind of recommend or refer to clients a little, so they know a little bit about the pieces that they're wearing. And it's not just about the piece of jewelry, it's a lot more than that. And I think women really like that aspect of the jewelry, and so kind of tying that together into a piece that you can kind of like stack together or wear, and it has the versatility of the diamond baguette bars or the inlay bars. And we work with so many different bead options as well. And you can stack them together or wear them with your everyday piece of jewelry. And I think that's what makes it so exciting.
So again, in a sense, it's all about personalization that Tara was saying. And Megan, you've created a brand that people would not only buy just one piece from, but they continue to come back to you to build more different pieces and to add to their jewelry collection. What sort of natural diamond cuts and shapes are different, and what kind of demographics are buying them or are drawn to them?
Yeah, definitely. So we specialize in fancy shapes, and we're seeing more and more younger generation wanting interesting cuts like triangles, marquise, kite shields as their first diamond studs, I would say.
So as opposed to rounds.
As opposed to rounds, exactly.
Right.
So traditionally, rounds is kind of how you start building your jewelry box when it comes to diamond studs, and then you build upon that. But now we're seeing a lot of clients who are like, I want my first diamond studs to be marquise, or I want them to be kites, or I want them to be shields, or whatever the interesting shape is, because now people want to wear their pieces from day to night. They don't want it to be sitting in a safe somewhere, and they want it to align with their personal style. So it's been really interesting to see that. And then I think people are taking more risks with their fine jewelry. They're being a little bit more experimental. They're using black diamonds with white diamonds. They're mixing fine metals. So it's been an interesting wave in the fine jewelry market.
Nice. So again, I suppose choosing a specific diamond cut is an expression of their individuality. Going back to, people being able to express themselves with their fine jewelry purchases. So Tara, what do you think is a good age? What kind of age group do you think, what's the youngest jewelry client you've got looking to collect pieces?
So I think being in India, it's such a big part of our culture to have jewelry. So, I mean, there are newborns who are clients without even knowing it really, because their parents are buying it for them, their cousins, their aunts and uncles. But as a consumer themselves, I have seen quite a few 5-year-olds come in with their moms and literally read, the diamond pave hearts with like rainbow enamel, or, little diamond bees. And literally they don't obviously realize the value behind them. And it's amazing because they actually wear the stuff. You see these little 5-year-olds out with their tiny little diamond unicorn studs, and they are showing it from that age. And on an older note, I feel there's also that difficult teenage age where they're like, they think it's cool and rebellious not to wear fine jewelry.
Yeah.
But they'll come in and they'll find something that relates to them, like Megan said about black diamonds, or, something that kind of goes with where they are in life and what fits into their, style. Maybe it's a crop top with low hip jeans and they'll wear a diamond body chain. But again, like you said, it boils down to how they want to express themselves. There's no right age I don't think there's a right age where you start, but I think it's important for you to love the piece. I would rather have a teenager come in and say, Mom, I love that, than for a mom to say, you know what, you should be having pieces like this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I see that across the board too, in my line of work. And we've engaged so much in work together, where I've also had girls come back from college and the mums are ready to pull their hair apart. And my daughter doesn't wear any jewelry. Please make her wear like a jewelry doctor or something. But it's specific to India, perhaps. Ananya, you are a designer who's doing two things. You have a line of really beautiful, bespoke, high-end jewelry, and then you have all these wonderful spirituality-linked fine jewelry pieces. What do you think? What sort of budget should one keep in mind when they're looking to invest in buying a statement jewel, a statement pair of earrings? What would you advise someone to say this is the kind of budget you should keep, if so?
So I think the thing about budgets is that it's so subjective. I think that when it comes to statement jewelry and really investing in that piece of jewelry that's going to, last for a lifetime, I think it's all about really investing in something that's an heirloom piece almost, that you feel like you can pass down through generations. And that, for me, is the definition of an investment piece, rather than really restricting it to a budget. Because what I've noticed, what a mother might want to wear is very different from what a daughter wants to wear, and I think like the whole mindset of having that investment piece has completely changed. You know, the younger generation maybe wants to buy that pink diamond ring, and you know, the mother had like a full jewelry set, and you know, the prices are similar price points, but that's their, you know, version of an investment piece.
Megan, one of your specialities and something I love doing as well in my line of work is creating engagement rings. So each engagement ring ought to be special and a very sentimental piece of jewelry. What kind of trends are you noticing with people choosing their rings? It used to be very traditional, but again, I think you're going to give us more current insight into how people are going about buying or choosing the engagement ring and stone. Do they do it collaboratively? Do you see couples coming in? Please share your experience with us.
Yeah, of course. So it's in the last 5 years, the bridal landscape has changed completely. There's this new wave of feminism in the bridal space. A lot of our female clients will come visit us 1 or 2 times before their partner even comes. They know exactly what they want. They don't want their partner to mess it up. We have done a lot of resets recently because personal style does change. So a ring that they got when, you know, they first got engaged to now, their style has changed. So they keep the sentimental part, which is the diamond, and then they just kind of redesign the engagement ring. A lot of female clients are also putting money towards their engagement ring. They will say,
Wow.
hey, my partner, this is his budget, but I'm happy to give a little bit more so I can get the ring of my dreams. I'm seeing a lot more women who also will come in with their partner for the engagement ring or for the trial, and they no longer ask their partner, what do you think? They just look at it, they take pictures and send it to their friends. So it's been really interesting to see that. People are also getting very experimental with the different diamond shapes. So traditionally it was rounds, maybe princess cuts. Now people are doing emerald cuts. They're setting it in interesting ways. If they're doing a triangle shape, they're setting that in an interesting way. So now I think people are really, really conscious of their personal style and does the brand or what they're buying line up with their values, especially when it comes to diamonds. And people prefer, you know, how is your piece made? Is it made sustainably? And is it an investment piece? Like Ananya was saying, a lot of our younger clients are coming in saying, this is an investment towards our future as a couple. We're building family wealth together. So I want to make sure whatever diamond I buy, it's an investment.
Right. And when you come to all of you, actually, we're going back to this term investment, because again, here in India, we see people talking about investment. Is this diamond an investment? And it's a word or a kind of idea that also sets me off when someone comes to me with just that notion, oh, I want to buy a jewel, a diamond as an investment. How do you deal with explaining to your customer what an investment means in the true sense of the word, or what it means to you? How do you share that knowledge with clients who keep asking you?
I definitely see that here in the US. People want to make sure that, you know, the diamond they buy will hold value and is an investment. But, you know, I have to always remind them this is a piece they have to wear every day. They have to love it every day. It should also have a sentimental aspect as well. You have to love it. If you don't love it, it's going to end up in the safe. And then there's no value to it in your lifetime. And then, yes, you can pass it on to the next generation, but you never got to love the piece and you never got to wear it. So I think it's marrying both investment and mixing in personal style and the sentimental part to create a piece that, you know, you will love forever and that, you know, is an investment and you can pass it on. So just marrying those two ideas.
Yeah.
I agree with that completely. I think the investment point is very clear to me because we've seen, I actually have been in this line for almost 20 years now. And obviously we see over the years, there's no question, diamonds are going up and it's a limited resource, so they will go up. But I think I agree with Megan when she says it's actually a piece has to really draw you in. You've got to really love it. You've got to want it. And I feel, you know, almost immediately when that piece should belong to you, because you'll be like, you won't be able to get your mind off it. I think it's amazing to have that sort of sentiment for jewelry or for a particular piece that you buy, because yes, then you get to use it through your lifetime as well. Because
Your money's worth.
exactly. And
so to
like
speak.
other investments like say property or stocks, they all have their place. But to have an investment that you can enjoy as well is really special.
Yeah, for me, I consider it as energy, like good energy. So if you love it, you're giving it, great vibes. So even if you were to pass it down, that energy is also passed down. So your daughter or whoever gets to wear that next will feel that sentiment too. And that for me is the right investment value. Ananya, could you share your thoughts on the same?
So I think it's really beautiful to see like the transition of how people are dealing with investments and how they're building an emotional value to it. And I think it's something to really look at. And diamonds historically always been that beautiful emotional gift. And I think the younger generation have really like taken that in and made it theirs in a really, really beautiful way. And we have to appreciate that.
True. Would you girls also be able to share what is your notion of essentials? We're talking about collecting and creating one's jewelry box. So in your mind, what were the essentials you had wanted or have still looking for to adding to your own jewelry boxes?
Like you were mentioning in the last question you asked me, a lot of times, especially Indian culture, when you get married, your in-laws or your family gives you jewelry.
Yes.
And you don't get a choice in picking what you like. It's kind of like, this is what's given to you. Now you have to enjoy it. And most of the time nowadays, it ends up in a safe where you don't get to really wear it, or you have to reset it, which still is a little tricky. But now I'm seeing a lot of women who are telling their partners, I want these 5 pieces, I want these 6 pieces for my wedding set. And I think an essentials for me is a nice diamond tennis necklace, something really minimalistic that you can either start stacking around or you can wear solo. Diamond studs for sure. They can be your statement diamond studs. And then you can build around it with more fun shapes, more fun designs. A diamond tennis bracelet, might it be mixed shapes or traditional with rounds. I think that is something that you can wear with the watch. You can wear with your bangles. You could dress it up, dress it down for sure. I think that's a great one. And then I would say outside of your engagement ring and your wedding band, but 1 or 2 other stackable diamond bands. I think they always add a nice element in between heavy metal styles that you might wear on your fingers. But that's kind of what I would always recommend to clients, to start there. And then as they grow and as they move up in their relationship as well, they can always build upon that. But that's kind of like how I would start my jewelry box.
The foundation. Okay.
Exactly.
Tara, what about you? What do you think?
So for me, I like stuff that's a little bit out of the box. So I'd say a lot of it would be similar. Like, yes, I'd love my eternity bands, but with a little bit of a twist, like it could be mixing up the shapes, setting the diamonds at different levels. Or for example, this ring over here, it's got baguettes all the way around, but these gold tires on either side. So I like a little bit of, so it's still classic. You can wear it with everything, but it has that little bit of a punch to it. I like bracelets. Like I like the new link bracelets, but I also feel they're very timeless. I like the ones that, have different sort of shapes of links. So they're not typical. So again, they've got that little bit of personality, but they still are so wearable. With earrings, I think you need a pair of studs for sure. And, you can do that back where you have a dangling pair coming out of it.
Right. Yeah.
And then of course you have to have, I feel, as you're building, that one really special piece that takes a lot of work to make. Like I have this piece which it's sort of quite 3D, but there's a lot of work gone into it. So I feel like it's something I can look at and enjoy, because it brings so much beauty to the stone by these the various levels. And it's got baguettes in it, it's got round diamonds in it, and it would be like a big ring that I could just wear to a party. But I've also made it a brooch, which I would wear with a blazer. So I kind of like that little bit of versatility as well.
Okay, that's nice. Ananya, what do you think? What are your picks?
So for me, I think one of the essentials would be that heirloom piece, like I mentioned before, that sort of come down from your grandmom or your mom. That's really special. And then obviously it's my engagement ring, which I've kind of like redesigned. Like Megan mentioned, it was round and that was not so exciting for me. So I added like triangular shaped diamonds and did a mother of pearl inlay, kind of making it my own spin. And then a lot of clients come to me to build onto their chakra bracelets. And so, if they want to start off with something very neutral, then I suggest to go with the diamond baguette bar and to go with like rainbow moonstone beads or gray moonstone beads and kind of build their stack from there if they want to add color eventually. And it's really nice to see how they do it over the years.
Using milestones to collect more pieces, I suppose.
Exactly. There's always like a celebratory occasion, and it's really nice to have those memories for them.
Yeah. Any of your fondest jewelry memories? For me, jewelry does mean memories, and I have a little story attached to almost everything I have. So, what about you? Do you see that happening when you're selling your pieces? That Ananya does, I guess. All of us do, but anything that comes to mind?
So I think jewelry is, like Ananya was saying, it can mark so many different milestones. Might it be a push present, a birthday present when you're born? I mean, for me, it's like a lot of my heirloom jewelry that I might not be wearing it every day, but it's so nice. I feel very attached to my ancestors, my grandmothers, my great grandmothers, because I know that's what the wedding jewelry they wore. And at one point I can rewear it. For me, it's like probably my first diamond moment is when I was born. And I have got my first diamond studs. They were extremely small, but I still have them. And I actually wear them on my third hole here. So they've moved up in my life and they've moved up in my ear as well. But in the Indian culture, I think, jewelry is just such a big part of our connection to our culture and our family. So like you're saying, a lot of my pieces or most of my pieces have a sentimental aspect attached to them.
And another thing that was coming to my mind, all three of you are global in every way. And I assume your clientele is global too. The girls reaching out to you are from any part of the world. They could be Indian, American, there's a huge shift to buying jewelry online, especially post-pandemic. How have you adapted your line to making it accessible to people ready to shop online?
Basically, I think that during the pandemic, everything shifted to online. And, I think the way we even thought of selling jewelry completely changed. We're so used to having like physical contact and meeting with people, but then you had to sort of translate that onto video. And while it was tricky and it took a little time to figure it out, we wanted to sort of bring that entire experience to life, but on video. So we do a lot of live shots. We take like customization calls, like do a lot of video chatting and stuff like that, really to kind of bring that experience in virtually, but cater to people all over the world.
So it was positive. People have taken to buying online more comfortably than ever before.
We were actually always a digital first brand. So during the pandemic, it was hard to adjust when we started launching Bridal, because you would think traditionally, people want to come and see the diamond, come and see the settings in person. But we were able to create that experience on platforms like TikTok. TikTok has been, I know in India you don't have TikTok, but TikTok has been one of the best platforms for our business. We're able to really show the scintillation of a natural diamond through TikTok because of the quality of the videos. We are selling Bridal online. People don't even come into our showroom, and they buy it straight from our website. It's a wow. Huge wave in the e-commerce space for jewelry, but I just think it's growing, and like both other ladies were mentioning, it's just going to keep evolving, and more we're going to be able to reach more and more people around the world.
Global brings me to my next question, which is, whilst you all face customers from all parts of the world, have you noticed a specific buying pattern or buying behavior from a client in India or a client in UAE versus a client in the US or in Europe? Is there a really distinct difference in what one client is buying from here versus there?
For me, I feel there's a little bit of more of an equalizer now than there was before, because I feel people have a style with jewelry as well, as opposed to just, the size. And of course, in Dubai, we know that you can wear those big diamonds, you can wear all of that. Maybe the occasions will be different. Like suppose somebody was wearing this, a big sort of pendant hanging on a link chain. The occasion in Dubai to wear that may be breakfast, but in London, you would probably wear it out for dinner. But I think the styles are now sort of coming together because we're all reading the same magazines. Fashion has become quite international. Everyone is on board with what's happening internationally.
So, I find that, for example, in the Middle East, like our clients love to wear diamonds and with a little bit of color, and they love to sort of create contrast with color and diamonds, which is really interesting to see how they play and stack and wear pieces together. And I find like my clients in the US market love gold and diamonds. And it's really, really like apparent the difference between the buying in the two countries, for example. So every time we get into a new market, and even in the US, I think there's a difference between the East Coast and the West Coast. And it's really interesting to see how their lifestyles and their habits change how they buy jewelry.
Okay, so there is a distinct sort of pattern and difference.
Yes, absolutely. And then more towards what I do, since I do focus on bridal and we're very minimalistic in our aesthetic. Even within the US, there's all different types of aesthetic, right? A New York customer versus an LA customer versus a Miami versus Texas. It's lifestyle. Like, so someone in New York usually ends up going very minimalistic. They want a very subdued look. Clients in Texas want big and bling, right? They're taking a car. They're, never really walking on the street. Their lifestyle is very different. And then I would say our international clients, they have a very similar aesthetic to our current clients. They are seeking us out. So their style is very in line with our New York clients or, more of our traditional styles that we have.
Lovely. And that brings me to engaging the clients, especially new clients who are perhaps a little ignorant when it comes to initiating their jewelry collection, who may ask questions related to what is the value, what am I paying for, so on and so forth. It happens here. So how to overcome those questions and assure them, especially when they're making new purchases or the first time purchases for natural diamonds, whether it's the engagement ring or, even if it's for a design-led chakra bracelet, which has, little elements of so many gemstones, even with Tara's pieces, which have enamel and pop, and how to explain to them how this price tag has come about and what is the value. I think I get that a lot. It's a question that comes up every time I'm showing pieces. So I'm sure you all get that too.
A lot of our customers come in already very empowered, right? Because on the internet, you can really find a lot of information, a lot of misinformation as well. But when they come to us, we kind of build the trust with them and explain where the value is coming from the piece. Since we also produce locally, that adds a lot of value to them, right? They're not going, we have clients who are like, oh, let me go in India and see if I can get it for cheaper. And at the end of the day, we provide a value where we're like, you're making it here with us. If you ever have any issues, you can come right back to us. This is what our style looks like. You build a lot of trust with them. And also, if they ask us for a diamond quote 6 months ago versus now, they'll already see the huge price jump. Again, it's a very limited resource. So they're seeing it themselves in the industry and in the market. And that kind of, really convinces them to make the purchase or invest in that piece.
So I think that when we have clients come in and ask us questions, we actually love to educate them on how the process of putting together the piece happens, whether it's, finding the right sizes of diamonds or the gemstones, all the hand cut inlays that go into, and all the work that goes into a single piece, which it's nice for us to explain it to them so they also feel like they're getting educated on the process. And I think trust always builds over some time. And our constant communication and the fact that we offer a lifetime of service and things like that. And, any questions they want or any certifications that they need to have done, we're always willing to help them. And we really try to go out of our way to service them and make them feel comfortable.
As we draw this conversation to a close, we've discussed so many wonderful aspects of natural diamond jewelry and so many sentiments that go behind buying jewelry. Is there any final word that, or an insight that you could give that would help someone go forth and make the decision and go and make that purchase that they were holding back on for whatever reason for some time?
Well, I don't think I've ever heard a woman say, I'm so livid that he bought me this diamond bracelet. So I think that, you can't go wrong with diamonds as a gift to someone. And I mean, even if you tire of a piece for like a year or two and you give it a rest, you will always bring it back in and you'll enjoy it again. It's a gift that keeps on giving, I feel. And the beauty of it is if you really tire of a particular design, the diamonds aren't going anywhere. You can rework the design using the same diamonds, the same gold, and then have a whole new piece. So, I mean, in that way, I love that diamonds are so sustainable because you can really enjoy them.
Yeah. As cumbersome a process as that is for the jeweler who's in charge of a remake or a remount, yes, it's sustainable. Diamonds, will never be thrown out, so to speak. They will always be reused, even if it's a little time consuming. Okay.
So I think it's really important for someone to choose a piece that they really, really love. And at the end of the day, it's for them to enjoy, for them to celebrate. And I think that's something that goes a long way. And I always find that when a choice is made through like something they genuinely love, it's a completely different connection when they're buying that piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Likewise, I think at the end of the day, diamonds have a lot of many wonderful aspects, but you have to love the piece and it should spark joy every single day. And, you can always remake it and rework it in the future if you feel like, it doesn't represent who I am at this stage in my life. So I think there's permanence, but also, with jewelry, it's sustainable, right? You can keep remaking. But you should always love your piece no matter what.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Ananya. And thank you, Tara, for engaging in such a meaningful and thoughtful conversation. And I hope we encourage more ladies to start collecting also thoughtful pieces to add to their jewelry box and their memory box.
Thank you, Aaryah, for having us.
Thank you.
Fun.
Thank you,
you.
Vogue.
It was really fun. Thank you.
Thank you.